What is going on, YouTubers? It is your boy K-Mac coming at you with another cartoon conspiracy theory. Real quick about this gameplay, it's actually one of my better games ever. I started using the SWAT 556, and I actually kind of like this gun. They've done some buffs on it and some kind of tweaking on it. I actually kind of like this gun now. I think I go like 70 kills to like 16 deaths. Really fun gameplay in the background, but that's not what we're here. We're here to talk about the South Park theory. Now, this theory has basically everything to do with all of the characters being ghosts, and they're all from different times in history. And we're going to jump into the first character, which is Kenny. Now, it says here that South Park was founded in the 1870s, and soon after, family started moving there, heading west, around that time to the gold rush and all that kind of stuff. People were heading out west at that time. It says here that Kenny and his family moved to South Park in 1914, when World War I was in full swing. Kenny almost always wore his parka, that red thing he's always wearing, and it ended up being how he died. Now, why he died in it? Because he was in a car crash where a Model T actually went over a cliff and fell into a lake. And because of his parka or his hoodie that he's wearing, he could not reach. It was too tight, and he basically couldn't get out, and he ended up drowning. Basically, in his afterlife, he continued to get killed, but since ghosts cannot technically die, he's always revived and comes back. Now, the next character on the list here is Clyde. Now, it says here in 1925, Clyde was born in South Park, Colorado, and a couple years later, he met Tweak. When the boys were still young, they became very good friends, if not like best friends. The friendship, however, was put to the ultimate test in 1933 when the boys were playing in the woods, and Clyde was bitten by a snake. Basically, Tweak tried to carry him to the hospital, but he basically couldn't make it. He ended up tripping, breaking his leg, and he ended up dying out there. Basically, he let his friend Clyde die in his arms because he broke his leg and couldn't carry him, and he had to witness all of this, and it made Tweak become very nervous. He started seeing ghosts. He started basically tweaking out. He started seeing all the deceased kids, and after this, he couldn't take it anymore. In 1936, he hung himself from the ceiling. Next up is Craig. Now, Craig was a very quiet boy. He was born in 1934 in South Park, and he wandered around town searching for ghosts, as he was quite fond of urban legends and hauntings. He was really into all that supernatural stuff, and he soon found that Tweak's ghost was actually there, and he started talking to him. And Tweak's ghost lured him into a deeper part of the lake, where he ultimately drowned in 1940. In his afterlife, he became very upset with how short his life was, and was really pissed off about all that kind of shit, and that's why he's always hostile towards others. Next up on the list is Cartman. Now, Cartman and his mom moved to the town in 1941, and it says here that Cartman had by far the worst death of all the kids in South Park. As he was sleeping one night, a cannibal broke out from the insane asylum in town and actually stabbed Cartman to death, and actually started to eat him and actually take out his internal organs, and that's fucked up. But in the afterlife, Cartman turned into insulting everyone and becoming a giant dick in order to take out his anger towards the person that murdered him. Next is Wendy and Bebe. They moved to the town in 1947, about a year or two after Cartman died, and a terrible, terrible snowstorm came up on them as they were walking to school one day. They ended up getting lost, and they were never found again. But sometimes you can see their ghosts still lurking in town, so say this theory. But basically, they just got lost in a snowstorm and ended up freezing to death, and that's why they are dead. In 1953, Stan and his sister Shelly moved to South Park. Shelly was haunted by all the town's tragedy tied to it, all the deaths of small children. And like Tweak, she became progressively nervous and tweaked out and always on edge. It was only a short while before her brother and her met their own deaths. Basically, Stan became increasingly worried about her, and his efforts to help her failed in every try. But in 1959, they both died in a car accident when their mom was driving them to school. In the afterlife, Shelly's insane behavior made her angry spirit, and she torments Stan. Basically, just a dick to Stan, and it's actually really funny in the show. But she's basically a dick to Stan because he tried helping her, and just basically that's the reason why they got killed. Next up is Butters, and it says here in Butters, it was in 1968 when Butters and his family moved into South Park, and he was always an obedient child and followed the orders of his controlling parents to the detail. But it basically led to his death. In 1974, while Butters was in the garage, his dad told him to go grab the power drill. But on the way to do so, Butters tripped on his shoelaces and ended up landing on the drill, and it drilled out through his eye socket. And basically, he bled to death on his way to the hospital. But despite being dead, and after that, he's still very obedient to his non-existent parents' orders in the afterlife. Next up on the list is Kyle and Ike. Now it says here that Kyle basically caught a rare form of the bubonic plague after helping a rat escape from a tunnel. So basically that's a play on Lemmiwigs, but that's really funny. He got a rare disease from that because everyone knows that rats carry fleas that gave out the plague, and that's how that all started. And it says here that Ike died after his dad accidentally dropped him down the stairs, causing Ike's skull to split in half, killing him instantly. And last on the list is Jimmy. Jimmy moved to South Park in the summer of 1977, and despite his mental disabilities, he was probably one of the most cheerful children who lived in the entire town. But later in 1979, Jimmy was diagnosed with muscular dystrophy. This made him lose his ability to walk, and from that point on, he had to use crutches. Later in 1985, he died after a terminal illness when he could not breathe due to the respiratory muscle dystrophy. It says here that due to all the tragedies and all the deaths tied to this small little town in Colorado, it was quarantined by the U.S. military to prevent future deaths and tragedies to children and adults alike. So basically, they just kind of were sick of all this weird death, mysterious stuff going on, so they basically just shut the town down. You ever seen one of those ghost towns in the Old West? You'll get those sometimes. But that's basically it for this theory, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. It was one of the longer ones, I know, and it's kind of a stretch, but it's one of those things that's just kind of fun to think about, and I hope you guys enjoyed. And I hope it made kind of sense for you guys. It kind of made a little bit of sense. It wasn't the greatest theory ever, and it didn't hold the most water, but I thought it was a fun one, so I thought I would share with you guys. And make sure you guys don't forget to drop a comment in this video telling me which cartoon conspiracy theory I should do next. But please, before you go do that, please go over to my channel and check out my cartoon conspiracy playlist. It has maybe 25 of these theories. So before you make a comment asking for a theory, go over there and check it out. The theory you might be wanting to see might have already been made and you may have missed it. It may have been, something like that. You may have missed one of the episodes. And there's plenty more over there to go check out. If you guys are new around here, you guys can feel free to subscribe. I make these videos about 2 or 3 times a week. I also do a bunch of other series, and I want to start playing with my subscribers a lot more. I'm doing a whole bunch more of open lobbies and stuff like that, live streams over on Twitch TV with all my subscribers. So be looking forward to that in the next couple days, a couple weeks. Be looking forward to all that kind of stuff. And as always, guys, I want to tell you guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Really do appreciate it. And if this video can get to 500 likes before the end of the weekend, I will go ahead and put out the next video for you guys a couple days early, just because I love you that fucking much, and you guys are the best. And I cannot thank you guys enough for making this channel explode the way it has. I look back just yesterday, and this time last year, I think I had around 150 subs, and my channel was getting maybe about 200 views a day on a good day. And now it's just, I'm almost up to 12,000 subs, and I get about 20,000 views a day, and I cannot thank you guys enough for that. It's one of the greater things I've ever done, and it's all thanks to you guys liking and clicking and watching and subscribing, and I cannot thank you guys enough for that. So big pat on the back to all the subscribers, and like always, guys, game the fuck on, and until next time, peace out. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys could go ahead and drop a like, it would be very much appreciated. If this video goes to 500 likes before let's say Friday, then I'll go ahead and put out the next cartoon conspiracy theory for you guys very early. You guys have been really rocking it lately, so I've been putting these theories out as fast as I can. But as always, guys, get the fuck on. Until next time, peace out.